in the car talking on your cell phone, distracted, and running late.
I'll be there in about 10 minutes then.
I'm on my way.
This scenario is all too familiar today, and it can be very dangerous, especially on rural roads.
People are always in a hurry going someplace.
We have a lot of people in the cities that are moving out to the countryside, and quite frankly, they don't know how to drive on country roads.
These days, farms are larger and more spread out than in the past, and farmers frequently take to the roads to get from one field to another.
People coming to the country for their first few times need to realize there's going to be slow-moving equipment out on the road. There's going to be some tractors and trucks, things that move slower than they do in the city.
Each year, there are thousands of slow-moving vehicle crashes across the country, some of them deadly. 40-year-old Bobby Highsong lived for family and farming. He helped run his family farm all his life.
Bobby was a quiet person, but he was a fun person. He was such a giving person. Very, very giving.
One February morning, Bobby was helping his brother unload a grain bin. Bobby was pulling an auger behind his tractor down a rural highway with his brother Mike following in an escort vehicle.
While Bobby was making the left-hand turn, the truck driver decided to pass, and that's when he ran over Bobby. It broke the axle in half on the John Deere tractor. It did some damage to the 30-foot auger. The second truck went in between the 30-foot auger and my husband, Mike. And Bobby was not killed instantly. He had severe brain damage. He was with us for 5 days. I mean, we count our blessings and we thank the Lord. And there's many, many people that prayed for Bobby to survive. And it just wasn't meant to happen.
Other farm equipment operators like Tom Keithley count themselves fortunate for surviving similar accidents. He had a close call with a semi.
About 5 years ago, I was traveling down the road with this smaller tractor with a mower behind it. I was going to mow some field edges and some roadsides and things. And I usually am pretty aware of what's coming at me and things, and I saw a semi approaching, coming up over a hill, so I checked over behind my shoulder to see what was behind me. And there was an 18-wheeler with these brakes locked up, skidding right to me, right at me. And I didn't have time to react. He was so close, and all I did, I grabbed the steering wheel, kind of stood up, and he hit me all of a sudden, just like that. I was lucky that day because I think there was an angel on my shoulder protecting me.
All it takes is a distracted driver or a driver going too fast on a rural road. The causes of most slow-moving vehicle crashes.
You're always afraid of somebody taking a chance to try and pass you and cause an accident.
The best advice I could give is in those times of the year when you know you're going to be traveling on country roads, that there is a pretty good likelihood that you're going to come across some farm equipment. Give yourself an extra few minutes. I mean, that's really the main thing that people can do in order to avoid the impatience that creates the situations that cause accidents.
I think a lot of drivers that go out into the countryside are not prepared for encountering all the things that might be on a small county road or any kind of a rural road. And oftentimes they get out there and they attempt to drive at the same speed, and they just don't have the reaction time in order to avoid some of these things.
That's why you should keep a safe speed and stay alert. Most farm machinery is designed to travel less than 25 miles an hour. You can expect to see farm equipment on the roads most often during the spring and fall, from dawn until dusk, as farmers plant and harvest their crops.
You need to look for those flashing lights ahead, those in addition to the reflective tape that might be there on the sides of semi-trucks or on the sides of grain wagons, and be alert that there's something moving very slowly and you're going to have to slow down for it.
We also have the SMV symbol, which is the typical slow-moving vehicle symbol, which is the triangle with the orange in the middle and the red on the outside. That will let people know that that's obviously a large piece of equipment that's not moving very fast and they need to slow down and be aware of the situation.
The safe distance to follow obviously depends on the speed that you're traveling, but you should never be no closer than 3 seconds from that vehicle that's in front of you, no matter what type of vehicle that you're following. Okay? One thing that's important about a slow-moving vehicle and preparing to pass one is make sure that you're in a straightaway
and the roads are wide enough to pass. One thing you need to be careful of is a lot of times the farmers that are in the slow-moving vehicles, they can't see behind them because of the implements they are pulling or just because of the way that the vehicle is designed. Don't assume that the driver of the slow-moving vehicle sees you getting ready to pass, because he may not or she may not.
The farmer will try and pull over at the first opportunity that he has, that he can pull off the side of the road and let you pass.
Sometimes it may look like a farmer is pulling over to let you pass, but instead, he or she is getting ready to make a left turn.
That's the same thing as a semi pulling wide. The semis have signs on there warning a wide left turn or wide right turn, and so we have signals, we have lights on the machinery, but and we try to give directional signals, but some people are too anxious anyway.
Besides farm machinery, there are other types of slow-moving vehicles you should be aware of.
Well, there are Amish communities in about 15 states across the country, and any motorists that are traveling in any of those communities, which are popular tourist attractions, are going to encounter buggies on the highway. And buggies are traveling even slower than farm equipment, and motorists need to recognize that.
Here are some other obstacles to watch for when traveling on country roads. In rural areas, mailboxes are often closer to roadways than they are in urban settings. Also, be alert for wildlife in wooded areas and for livestock such as horses, cattle, or sheep that may have gotten loose and strayed onto the highway.
Another item might be spilled materials, such as a bale of hay that falls off of a load of hay or grain, or that might spill onto the highway. All of them might be a cause of an injury or an accident to take place.
But no matter the obstacle, the main message is use caution on rural roads.
Each person needs to be responsible for their own vehicle, and being responsible means driving slow, keeping a safe following distance, and knowing what's going on around you.
I just hope the people would be more patient and let the farmers do their job and get to the spot they need to go to, and things will work out. Everybody will get to the right spot.
I think if we just recognize that it's a time we've got to all share the road. And I think that's a neat concept, is that if we're willing to share the roads with those people producing our food as we go out to enjoy it, is that I think we're all going to end up a lot safer and a lot healthier in the long run.
If it just saves one life, we were successful.
We all share the road. It's a responsibility that we have to each other, whether it's the car, the truck, or the tractor.